I am not here to give a speech, nor do I enjoy standing on grand stages. In fact, I rarely speak publicly. Silence has always been more comfortable than sound, because I believe the deepest stories are not shouted. They are lived, felt, and one day quietly understood. Today, for the first time, I want to share my story, not to seek validation, not to impress, but to tell you how a boy who once feared being seen became someone who helped others connect without being in the room. My story doesn't begin with wealth or fame. It begins with silence. I was born in 1971 in the coastal city of Shantou, China. A city known not for ambition, but for simplicity and survival. My father was a port-managed, disciplined, methodical. My mother, gentle yet strong, ran the household with quiet intelligence. We didn't have luxuries, but we had structure. And beneath that structure, space to dream. I was an observer, always the quiet one in the classroom. I didn't speak unless I had to. But I watched everything. I watched how people moved, how they reacted, how invisible threads held the world together. My curiosity wasn't loud. It was relentless. When I was 9, my father brought home a tiny gadget, a pocket calculator. He had no idea what he had just given me. That simple machine changed my world. The first time I realized that something so small could think faster than me, and I was hooked. In high school, I discovered computers, big, clunky, slow by today's standards. But to me, they were portals. Places where logic met creativity, where ideas could live without permission. I knew then, this is where I belong. In 1989, I got into Shenzhen University. I studied computer and applied engineering. While others saw it as a career path, I saw it as a language, a way to understand the world and maybe change it. Shenzhen in the 90s was exploding, not just with buildings but with possibilities. A former fishing village turning into China's tech capital. That energy of becoming stayed with me. After graduation, I got a job at a telecom company. It was safe, predictable. I worked on pager software. I quietly analyzed user behavior. I asked myself a question that would haunt me for years. What if people could talk to each other instantly from anywhere? At the time, China's internet was just beginning. Slow, expensive, unfamiliar. Most people thought it was a passing trend. But I didn't. In 1998, with 4 friends, I started something small. Very small. No office, no brand, just belief. We wanted to build an instant messaging tool, something people could use to connect, no matter where they were. We called it OICQ. The early days were brutal. Servers crashed, no investors. Every day felt like a question. Will we still be here tomorrow? But I had already decided. Even if we failed, we would fail forward. OICQ became popular, too popular. So much so that a certain American company, OL, filed legal complaints. We were forced to change our name. We became Tencent. That moment felt like a defeat. But in hindsight, it was our becoming. Soon after, we launched a new product, an evolved version of our messenger, with a new name.
You know it now?
As QQ. People didn't just use QQ, they lived on it. It became China's digital playground, where teenagers flirted, students shared homework, gamers built clans. We didn't just create software, we created presence. And yet, as QQ grew, I stayed hidden. Not because I was shy, but because I believed. If your product needs your face to succeed, then you haven't built it right. Around 2011, smartphones changed everything. The world was moving faster. Attention spans were shrinking. The old web was dying, so we adapted. We built something mobile. First, a new experiment. An app that combined messaging, payments, games, moments, articles, everything in one. It was radical. It was risky. It was WeChat. In the beginning, many doubted it. Too cluttered, they said. Too ambitious. But we saw it as a life tool, a digital utility belt for the modern human. And slowly, quietly, it changed the world. Today, WeChat is not an app. It's infrastructure. People in China use it to pay rent, hail taxis, check health, send love. We built a digital universe inside a green icon. And yet, I still do not speak often. I rarely appear on stage, because none of this was ever about me. It was about enabling connection. For the introvert, for the forgotten, for the billions who never had a voice. I believe technology is most powerful when it disappears, when it fades into the background and lets humans come forward. Now, when I open WeChat, I don't see users. I see moments. A mother sending lunch money, a student messaging his tutor, a couple planning their future. And I smile, not because I built something popular, but because I built something quietly essential. So who am I? I am not a rock star. I am not a celebrity CEO. I do not seek to be remembered by face. But if you've ever sent a message across a sea, or paid with a phone, or smiled at a voice note from someone you love, then maybe I was there. In the background, building the invisible bridge. Do you know who I am? I am Huateng, founder of Tencent, architect of connection, and the quiet mind behind the pulse of modern China.